Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Justice League today, and I gotta say I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know right now that it's pretty mixed in the film world. Critics are not really liking it. The fans are kind of divided on it. But it's a nice little film. It's no Avengers. I'm gonna try not to make a lot of comparisons to it, but for what it was, I had a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I want to talk about the good things about it first. Number one being the characters. Now we all know, Batman, Cyborg, the Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman. They're all great together. I'm still not really behind Batfleck. Ben Affleck is just he was fine in Batman versus Superman, but I just prefer the other versions. Obviously Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, Christian Bale. It's just kind of hard to beat that. We've got Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm not really familiar with his work other than that, but he's fine, I guess. I'm not really the biggest Superman fan to begin with, unlike Jerry Seinfeld, but he does the scenes in here are good. Ray Fisher as Cyborg. I don't really know much about Cyborg at all, so I can't really say much about it. I guess, like the effects and visuals on him were pretty good, but just as a character, I wasn't really impressed. His powers didn't really wow me or anything like that. Of course, we've got the Flash, who is definitely the best addition, the newest, I guess, member that we've been introduced to in the DCU, and Ezra Miller just completely steals the show. All of his scenes are pretty great. He's very passive. He doesn't want to kill people, stuff like that, and he just has very, very fast speed. And he makes use of it. The comedic moments of Ezra Miller are great. Really kind of some of the funniest parts of the movie. But I'll get more to that later. And then of course the scene stealer, sorry, is Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She stole Batman versus Superman. Well, I guess she didn't really steal her in the movie, but Wonder Woman's probably one of my favorites of the year, and she steals this one again. That character is just so great. She has the best powers. Her weapons are just fun to watch, and Gal Gadot just kills that performance. I'd love to actually see her get at least a Golden Globe nomination, maybe even an Oscar nomination for Wonder Woman, just because she's just so great. I can't really wait to see more of that character. And then of course we get more of Detective Gordon, J.K. Simmons, and then I really like Jeremy Irons' version of Alfred as well. And then all the team work together, and with the Avengers, it's kind of different because these ones kind of all got along together. And of course, sorry, I forgot Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Aquaman, he's never really been the most popular superhero. Kind of just like I guess there really hasn't been a good version of him yet. But Momoa does the best that he can here. I mean, he's Khal Drago, so he does what he's work with. He looks the part. He's got it. He's that kind of badass dude with a trident. So he makes that work. And I just think I don't know, the DCU is just it's hard to compare it to the MCU. I'm gonna try not to do that as much, but the biggest thing is like when they all meet with the Avengers, it was kind of like just one giant fight at first. They were like they didn't know who any of them were. Obviously, in Batman versus Superman, we got kind of the idea of who these characters are from Batman's point of view, and basically recruiting them. And the only real conflict they had was with two particular characters, but I'm not really going to get into that to avoid spoilers. Another one of the good things I liked about the movie was just the the acting was good. The action scenes were great. Some of the battles were really fun. The scenes between Superman and the Flash were really good. Some of those, pretty much every time Wonder Woman was on screen, nails it. Her interactions with Batman, popping his shoulder back in, that was pretty funny. And just her, she didn't really know Superman very well. She kind of just showed up in Batman vs Superman, but here, now that we've seen Wonder Woman, she's more established. She's definitely one of the key members of the group. And I can't wait to see how they expand on her in the DCU. Some of the bad things, though. So the biggest problem with the movie is that apparently Warner Brothers made them fit it under a 2-hour time limit, and this is a movie that would have benefited from being probably around like 2 hours, 20 minutes or so, which is the average length of most superhero movies. I've done the math, and it's usually around like 2 hours, 10 minutes for the most part, especially within the MCU and even this DCU. And it just they never gave enough time to set anything up. The villain just kind of shows up out of nowhere. Steppenwolf, who also like, I mean, DCU's been pretty good at their villains so far, except for Leto's Joker. But just the way that they've portrayed DC villains, even like in the old Batman movies, have always been great. Compared to Marvel, where they have like cool characters and cool villains, but they're just on-screen portrayals are just pretty bad. They're just kind of boring. But Steppenwolf, he kind of just shows up out of nowhere, and then it's like, oh, who the hell is this guy? What happened to him? How did he get here? And it just, he wasn't very engaging to me. I just didn't find it fun. I wish it would have been a stronger villain. But I mean, there's a couple parts near the end that I like, but it felt really just thrown in there, to be honest. And the post-credit scene is luckily setting up for something a lot better. The other problem I had with it is that it felt extremely rushed. Like I mentioned, they needed to be under a 2-hour time limit, and it ruined it because I knew Zack Snyder had to leave early, unfortunately, because of family matters and what had happened to his daughter, which was very tragic. And then Joss Whedon came in for a couple of reshoots and basically to finish the post production on it. And you can tell like where he had input in it, and then where Snyder had, where his filmography is kind of all over the place. But it really just needed more time to set up the characters because we've gotten the Batman movie, which technically was a Batman and Superman movie. We got Man of Steel, so we had that. I guess we're gonna get a Flash movie, maybe. Probably not a Cyborg movie. Um, Suicide Squad. I don't even know how that's gonna fit in here, or if it is. But I can't wait for that interaction. But we haven't got a complete Batman, Ben Affleck Batman yet. And according to the news, we might not because he either doesn't want to do the character or I can't keep up with it anymore, to be honest, but I know that he's getting kind of tired of it, I guess, already, or he wants to do other things. Possibly being replaced by Jake Gyllenhaal, which would be very, very odd. But that really was just the main issue, is it was so rushed. And it really would have benefited. I'm sure there's going to be an extended version of the DVD and Blu-ray, which I'm really hoping for. But other than that, I mean, it was an alright movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. But it's that fun team up. If you like the DC movies, you'll get some sort of enjoyment out of it. I liked it more than I liked Batman versus Superman. Enjoyed Suicide Squad more than this one. And of course, Wonder Woman's the best of the bunch so far. This is also definitely better than Man of Steel. As I mentioned, I'm just not a huge fan of the Superman character to begin with. But go see it, go check it out. Your friends will probably drag you into it. It's fun enough, if you like superhero movies, just go check it out. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more to come. Take care.